he's impacted so many. Yes, so well, thank you, Jeremiah, for recording that. So basically, yes, I want to introduce a gentleman that has impacted a lot of people's lives, whether young, middle, older, it doesn't matter. And people have testimonials. And that one of those people, of course, is myself. And so today he's going to take us through the journey. I don't know what he has prepared, because sometimes I'm thinking he's talking about PD or personal development, and then sometimes he wants to talk more about the business. So that is in his hands. Mine is to just bring him up, knowing that he's a person that is respected by many, he has coached very many, and he's still coaching, and that is the journey. So it's a journey of adding value to the lives of so many people. So he's also a businessman, of course, and done big businesses, and especially in the world of network marketing. So if Coach Simon, he can hear me, the stage is yours, the mic is yours. I am ready to hand it over. Karibu sana.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you too. You're loud and clear, so take it away.
Yes, thank you so much for that presentation. It was precise and to the point. And I did want to echo and to congratulate each one of the people who do the presentations week in or week out. For we know that faith comes by hearing. And for sure, hearing the word that is being presented unto you. And today I've been thinking on the way forward, and I came across a statement that Henry Ford, most of you knew the movie Air Force One. And the main character, his name is Henry Ford, and he made an observation. And he said, obstacles are those fruitful things that you see when you take your eyes off your goal. And just a minute, guys. Thank you. I'm back. Obstacles are first fruitful or frightful. So not fruitful, frightful things that you see when you take your eyes off your goal. There was another guy, and most of you, and this guy was a magician, and he was a known magician, and his name was Harry Houdini. And there is a story that one time in Germany, he wanted to prove to the world that he could break out of any prison door. But the wardens, the prison warden in Germany, they said that the cell that they had created that time, their lock could not be picked. So they put this guy in, and of course, he used to hide his tools, some under the tongue and others on his belt. So, and while he was trying to pick the lock, of course, 5 minutes passed by, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And now, because he started getting worried, and he started sweating profusely, because now he knew he is no longer at ease. He could not break out. He could not pick that lock. And what I'm driving at is a statement that he said, that my brain is the key to set me free. My brain is the key to set me free. So as we talk about the matters of the brain, the only question is, can your brain set you free? So this guy, he was oblivious of the reason that even to start with, the lock was not locked. The wardens had pushed him in, but they forgot to lock the lock. So he was just struggling, and all along for more than 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, the lock was not locked. And finally, in perspiration, he was so exhausted, he just fell and dropped on the same door. And guess what happened? The door flung open. So all this time, he was inside that cell, but guess what? The door was open because the lock was not locked. So even as we look at today's topic, and I will talk about commitment. When I met my mentor, he made a statement that has stood with me all these years. And I met him when I committed to do this business. I started following him in 2013. And I started pulling him with my mind towards me. So since 2013, it took me 2 years to get connected to him, and I had to travel to go to France. I went to France. That is where I got connected to him. And like we said, it's gonna cost you something to get what you're looking for. So I went there, and we were in our ballroom, and he walked. I said, God, I need a miracle. If for sure you say that the belief, whatever you believe in, if you tell this mountain to move. So I said, I'm calling that guy, and I want him to come where I'm seated, and I want him to give me a high five. So, and I remember I'm in a hall that has more than 50,000 people. And I was just exercising the power of my mind. And for some reason, I didn't quite think that he would come because he was on the stage. And guess what? Because the podium was so big, you see yourself on the many monitors that are hung around for people, for the ease of the people who are far to be able to see the presenter. And guess what? Me, I'm looking at one of the screens, and I'm seeing myself, and I'm seeing the guy in front of me, and he's saying, give me a high five. And I was like in awe. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even see him walk away from the stage, come all the way to where I was seated. And now he was asking me, give me a high five. And like we are saying, the power of your mind. And he told me, he mentioned a statement that has stood with me all these years. And he said, commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. Commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. And when I had this, I can only equate it to the word I read in the book of Torah. And sometimes we keep saying, this book, all the wisdom is hidden there. Let me see whether I can get the... And of course, the book of Torah that I'm going to read is Exodus 13:14. And it says, do not fear, stand firm and see the salvation which God will bring today. Though you see the Egyptians now, you will never see them again. God will fight for you, and you shall remain silent. The people stood speechless, puzzled by Moses' words. Then God spoke to Moses and told him to give the Israelites one last command. That is on Exodus 15:1. Now journey Fourth, I keep saying I'm just a son of a preacher. I'm not a preacher, but I've read this book over and over again. Sometimes I don't agree with Jeremiah when I tell him that sometimes God is a God of genocide. Because if you look, and especially at the Old Testament, is full of wars, and but I like it because I've been in the field for a long time. And the one statement that stands out for me is the statement that says, every kingdom suffereth violence. Every kingdom suffereth violence. And it's the violent. It's only the violent that will take it by force. And I know most of you here are Christians, but I keep saying, I don't see the evidence that we are Christians. I don't see the evidence that we believe, that we are believers. So like the children, when they were coming out of the bondage, where they've been in slavery for over 400 years. And when they got there, and can you imagine after seeing all these dazzling miracles from Light Center, the 10 plagues, they still doubted. They didn't know what to do. So, and I want to relate this because it's not preaching. I just want to quote this and relate it to our real life stories and what we are going through. And especially when it comes into business, I will just compare these into context with the business that we are in. And one of the things that these guys were contemplating to do is what we call self-sabotage. When they saw the Pharaoh's team coming towards them and the swords they were blazing, and they knew, and this is the Red Sea, which is ahead of them. And of course, they knew they could not swim. There's no way you can swim across a sea. So, and they knew one of the things they wanted to do is to take poison and die, self-sabotage. And they told Moses, because they divided themselves into 4 groups. And the first group was so vocal, and they said, and Israelites, they are known by this. And one time when 16th century, when Romans were taking over the world, and there was this group of 900 men, families, in one of the mountains called Masada. And when they realized that the Romans were going to capture them, they said, no. They will not take us alive. They cast lots out of the 900 men, and they said that they are going to slit their throats. So, and the last one will kill himself. So they are known. They are known for taking their life other than be taken. And those of us who have been in the field, we understand this. So even you in this business, I know most of us, we are self-sabotaging ourselves. And when it comes to, like, we had a launch just like 2 weeks ago, and most of you never saw money. And looking by the numbers that are here tonight, the question is, people know that we are going to have these conversations. And when you ask people, what is it that is so important than learning how to build a profitable business from somebody who has done that, from somebody who has experience in doing this, not once, not twice, a number of years. He has done it before, he is doing it, and he'll still do it again. So the people who are always here, the question is, where is everybody else? So because they are suffering from self-sabotage. Some of them took poison, and they deleted their wallets. They said, I don't want to do this. And there are so many reasons why, like the children of Israel, you want to quit. There are many, because you are faced by many challenges out here. But Moses told these guys, number one statement is do not fear. Do not fear. Even if you didn't see money, can you stand still? Can you stand firm and see the salvation of your business? Number two, the group number two is the group that said, let's fight. And if you've been into war, you understand that war is costly. If you are fighting a business, you know you're fighting a losing battle because you're putting in money and money is going. If you're going into war, guess what? Instead of progressing, you go backwards, you move backward. And that is why standing firm is so critical, is so important because, the good book talks about be calm, be still and know that I'm God. But the challenge is when you're going through a storm, can you remain calm? Can you close your eyes and meditate and know that Simon said, or Jeremiah also said, put in your money and just wait. And it's so challenging because even today I've been getting messages that I have not seen something in the business. And sometimes I'm tempted to say, we said, wait until 1 year. But how many of us can be able to wait for a month, for 2 months, for 1 year, for 6 years? Because this is the business that we are doing. And I want you to go out there and look at these statistics. I want you to go on the KLIA's portal and look at the people who make their returns. And based on those returns, I want you to look at the average income. 85% of the Kenyan, what is their average income vis-a-vis to the amount after paying taxes? And then will that money sustain them? For how long can that money now that you are earning, you divide that earnings by 5. And if you're earning 100,000 divided by 5, you tell me whether 20,000 will be able to sustain that person a budget of 20,000 every month. And most of these people, they are renting, they have kids in school, kids at the university, and so many other things, a budget of 20,000. And I'm telling you, people earning 100,000, that is job group M and above. M and above. You can, so the larger population is below M coming this way. You can imagine. So when we are talking about these things, I really want us to be as personal and candid as possible. So when the going gets tough, do you fight or do you remain calm? That group, what did they say? Let's retreat. Let's surrender. Let's go back to Egypt because we were eating pumpkins and all those things for free. And we have served these people all our lives. 400 years is a long time. So we can surrender and we can go back without a fight. But guess what? What is Moses telling these guys? Stand firm and see the salvation which God will bring today. Though you see the Egyptians now, you will never see them again. And God will fight for you and you shall remain silent. And guess what? As these guys, me and you, many times when we get involved into a business, and a business like the other day, I think yesterday in Kitengela, we were looking at a scenario whereby anybody can be able to join this business. and all you need is 3 people and a very minimum amount of money, $122. That is like 14,000 Kenyan shillings. Anybody can afford 14,000 Kenyan shillings. And guess what? The amount of income that you'll get from your 3 people direct is 350, no, more than $630. $630. $630, that is almost 70,000 from an investment of 14 to 15,000. Who cannot do that? But when the going gets tough, what do? We retreat, we quit, we say, I've tried, I've done everything that there is to do, and the business is not working. Finally, the 4th grouping was what psychologists call learned helplessness. And I think this is where Africa, in terms of our faith in God, lies. Because time and again, what we see our people do, we've learned these limitations from either our parents, either from our pastors. I don't know where we got this culture, whereby, and I'm not saying that don't play. Please do, because there are many reasons why we play. There's the group that plays to praise God. There's the group that plays to give thanks. There are the group that plays to ask for something, request and things like that. But there is the group that plays to exalt and glorify. So I don't know among those groups, because anything that you ask in thanksgiving, it will come to you. So I don't know which group are you, but I've seen our people fast play, but there is no action. I've seen people lock themselves in a building, and they stay there 3-4 days, and they don't take action, but all they are doing is playing. And in psychology, those of you who have done psychology, you understand the term learned helplessness is people who have been slaves. They don't have their own voice. They are used to be told what to do. They don't question. And even as we've been through that in many areas, we grew up with a lot of limitations, and we adapted those limitations, and they became part of us habitually. So we've been practicing learned helplessness, like these children of Israel who said, please, let's close our eyes because we've seen God perform dazzling miracles in Egypt. And all Moses was doing is to play. And then, but they are forgetting that Moses, yes, was playing, but he had also something in his hand. And that staff did things. He didn't even need to play. When the witches from Pharaoh, when they dropped their staff and they became snakes, he also dropped his. There was some form of action. When God needed to pass and kill the firstborns, they needed to do something, to paint their doors with some blood, with some markings. So there is always an action that is required to be done. So the action in your business that you need or you're required to put in is, number one, have you put a form of investment? That is action number one, some form of money. Action number two, remember, our capital is not per se the money, but the people. If I ask you, how big is your contact list? How many names do you have a mentor list? If I ask you, are you adding onto your list? How many people have you called today and told them, by the way, have you heard about the fourth revolution? So how committed are you? Commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. As you continue building your business, as you continue honing your skill, guess what? You'll be able to build a true form of residual income. And when we touch into, now I'm moving on, I'm done with that part. When we are talking about building a true form of residual income, we understand that for sure there are only two ways that you can be able to earn residual income. One is the people who own asset portfolios. And we are telling our people that crypto is a form of asset, is a form of a store of value. But if you are not here with us, and if you are not, I listened to my mentor, he told me that when he interacted with this industry, his grandfather told him, son, if you want to succeed in life, look for somebody who has done what you want to do, and then follow them. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. So we are saying that because we have people who have prowess, we have people who have done so well, we have people who have earned 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 10 million in this business in the shortest time possible. Record time, 1.5 months, 10 million. Why can't you and me follow these people and ask them, what is it that you are doing? What is it that I need to do to get to where that you are? The other area is the investment. And the other day we were looking at, most of us, we are saying, if I get 10 million, if I get 100 million, I'll be able to invest this money. But let me ask you, if you are a job, if you have a job, the number one question is, and I know how difficult it is to sell, and you are saving 10,000 Kenyan shillings every month. How long will it take you to raise 10 million Kenyan shillings? I know, JKK, you are a mathematician, you are a scientist. Can you tell us how long it will take us to save or raise 10 million Kenyan shillings if we are saving 10,000 per day? So that this money, you can say at the end of it, I'll put it in an investment, I'll buy a bond, I'll put it into treasury bills, I'll buy an infrastructure bond, so that, and this bond then per annum, how much will it be earning you? The highest is 12% per annum. And this money, you don't just get it immediately when you put in your money. Guess what? You start earning this money after the 6th month. 10,000 months. So 10,000 months. How many years are those? Divide by 12. So how many years? How many years are those if we divide by 12? 833 years for you to raise 10 million Kenyan shillings, for you to put that money in some form of investment. Then we are telling you, because me and you, we are not Methuselah, that will be here 969 years, adding what you have now, the years that you have. We are saying we have a better way in form of network marketing, whereby you'll be able to help people start companies within your company. You will help people start companies within your company. And the question is, would you want to do 100% by yourself, or would you want to earn 1% from 100 people? I'd rather go with the second option. I earn 1%, me, I contribute 1%, and 99 people contribute 1% each. And guess what? I have 100%. Everybody wins. So tonight, you need to become a walking, talking testimony for people to buy your belief. You need to become a walking, talking testimony. And how do you do this? You can only be able to achieve this if you are building your business, if you are hanging around the people who are doing what you want to become. Why, as you continue doing that, guess what? Other people will start buying you first before they buy the business that you are in. And the other day, and by the way, next week we'll be talking about posture. And posture, one of the things I just want to mention, because this is so important, is dressing the part. And I'm reaching out to all of you, please, just understand that you need to become that person before even you get there. Dressing the part, please. If you are casual, be smart casual. If you are suited, fitting, just I will not dwell on that. So let me talk about the enemies that prevent us. And most of these enemies I've seen, and these are, remember the statement that if you conquer the enemy within, the enemy without cannot harm you. So all of us, we suffer from these internal enemies, which are emotional aspects of our life. And the number one enemy is what I call indifference. And by the way, this information, I got it from Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn was one of the gurus in network marketing companies. He joined Herbalife in 1971. 1971, that is when he joined Herbalife. And over the years, he built into the industry. By the time he was 25, he was broke. But by the time he was 31, he was a multi-millionaire in dollars. So it took him 6 years to become a millionaire in dollars. He lost all his money, but guess what? All his money came back to him. So when I heard him in 2013, I listened to him and I said, I want to be like this guy. And he taught me, and he said there are things, although he is not with us today, but guess what? The contribution he made into society will live beyond him. He left a legacy. And when he mentioned indifference, what is indifference? And we keep telling our people that stop being indifferent. You know, indifference is drifting. And there's a book written by Napoleon Hill. And tonight I will give you 2 assignments. One of those assignments is to go online and get a CD called, or an audio cassette called Cash Cow by Horton Buggs. Cash Cow. Cash, like a cow that is giving you money. Cash Cow. Please get that. And last week we gave 2 books. I told guys 3. I told guys go online and listen to Louise Hay, the ladies in the house. I told you connect with her. She will speak to you even if she is not with us. We said please go listen to her. And then we also said go listen to this book, Ask and It Is Given. Esther, and this was communal. Everybody who is on the call, Ask and It Is Given, from Jerry and Esther Hinks, Esther and Jerry Hinks. And then we said the little book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, So Is He. So tonight, the book for this week is by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill. It's called Jeremiah. You remember the book? And I know you got it. And Jeremiah was so afraid of that book, he couldn't believe that somebody can have a conversation with the devil. And I was asking him, if you can have a conversation with God, don't you think people have a conversation with the devil? So you remember the book?
Yeah, outwitting the devil.
Congratulations. Now you know people, you can outwit the devil. Thank you so much. That is the book for this week, Outwitting the Devil. Please get that book. Is the book for now. It was just authored the other day. Even if Napoleon Hill died in 1971, the book was just authored the other day, 2011, because people are so afraid of the devil. And one of the statements that I like in that book is that we are so afraid. We fear the devil, but we do not trust our God. Can you imagine the devil telling Napoleon Hill that the people of the world, 98% of the people in the world, they fear the devil too much, but they do not trust our God? I remembered, and I used to tell Jeremiah that sometimes I don't like Sunday school teachers, because they inflict the fear of the devil to our children, but there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know, but I think now we know better, because the time when I was in nursery school or Sunday school and I was told there is a devil, now I started even fearing the darkness. So we fear the devil, but we cannot be able to trust our God. That is book number one. The other book is, but that is CD Cash Cow. Please get that CD Cash Cow by Horton Baggs. So, we were talking about drifting, indifference. It's just drifting, and we drift most of. And remember, there's no way, if you are going to the top, the way we are saying we are going to the top, all the way to the top, there's no way you can slide like the way people slide on the ice skating. There's nothing like that. You have to work hard. But when you say, I'll call 2 people every day, do you call them? When you say, I will go to Keleresho tomorrow, do you get there? When you say, I will build this business, I purpose to, or do you find yourself drifting? Emotion number 2, or enemy number 2, is indecision. Oh my goodness. Indecision is the thief of all opportunities. Indecision, is the worst of all human ailment. This is worse than COVID. I don't know the strain which is now, they are calling it, I don't know what. I'm not in that space. And please, because all of you are in business, and I will appeal to you, desist from, and I saw some people who do not even plug on these calls, and they are the first one to echo some negative news that are shared on our pages, on our Fast and Furious. I see somebody working at Kenyatta, which is okay, blessed joy, is okay, that is your profession. But have you ever asked yourself, how come doctors, they don't catch some of these diseases, and they are with these patients all the time? Because they don't fear these diseases. But when you bring that information to the wrong place, guess what? You instill, there's something called group consciousness. When everybody is stand in fear, when everybody is so afraid of that disease, guess what? They attract it to themselves. So I will ask you politely, all of you, desist from sharing this negative information about this disease. You know what you need to do. Wash your hands. You know the protocols that you need to follow. Everybody knows. There's nobody who is here who doesn't know what they need. So there is no point. There is no reason for you to echo, because there are people who mentally, they are not strong enough. They are babies. So I'll ask you, if it's not business related, there are individual wars. There are other wars that we can share. We can interact. You have information that you want me to know, inbox me. But let's not drift into the things that are not working for business. Number 2, there is nothing that is going to stop. Nothing. It doesn't matter what is happening in the world. If you are in a rental house, next month the landlord will come for the money. If your children are like, tomorrow I'm taking my boy to school, don't they know that there is COVID and they're going into boarding? That is what you need to, there's nothing that is going to stop. When we get there, I will not tell them, and the fees, I think, is 80-something thousand. I will not go and appeal to the headmaster and tell them, you know, there is COVID, please subsidize the amount of money that we are going to pay. No. So what am I telling you? That anybody telling you stay at home, anybody telling you stay at home, tell them my budget is 250,000, my budget is 500,000. And I'm not trying to tell people to go against the government, but I'm just telling you, take care of your economy. And if you are going down, go down alone. Don't go down with a group. Just go down alone. If your work demands that you work from home, good for you, work from home alone. Don't deviate. Don't influence these other people on what to do. So there are things that will not stop. Your stomach will not stop from asking for food. The basic needs that require to be taken care of using a tool we call money, a resource we call money, they will continue asking for more. God forbid, if you, I have a family member who is just admitted in the Nairobi. I'm not sharing it on the group. And by yesterday, the bill was close to 400 million. I mean 400,000. Why? Because Nairobi Hospital, number one, their priority number one is profit. They're in business. So please, let's desist from fueling other businesses that are not benefiting us. And we forget our main business. Our main business, our priority number one, our objective number one is to make profit. The next objective is to help others, because you cannot give what you do not have. Make enough money so that now go helping everybody. But before then, just refrain yourself. Refrain completely from matters that are not building your business. And I'm speaking this because I have some form of authority over some of these matters. So and ask yourself, the people telling you A, B, C, D, where are they? They are following their own protocols. The work is moving on. So when you allow yourself to somebody to drift you off the course, you have nobody else to blame other than yourself. So indecision, make a decision and stick to it. Doubt, oh my goodness, this has killed our people. Doubt, you doubt yourself, you doubt your future. And have you seen somebody in doubt? They get this paralysis. They are tongue-tied. They don't believe that they can do it. And guess what? They self-sabotage themselves. Have you ever seen somebody who is paralyzed, in paralysis mode? They can't move. They're in a shaking mode. And I've seen so many people who come, they see an opportunity and they know that this opportunity can make a difference in my mind. But guess what? Instead of seizing the moment, they doubt. Guess what? Doubt brings in worry, worry, concern. That concern destroys you in terms of fear. Guess what? They say, oh, I'm exercising caution. Caution is good. Ask from the expert. But over caution turns into fear. And what is fear? It's fake evidence appearing real. Fake evidence appearing real. And because why is it fake evidence? It's fake evidence because you are consulting your logic, and you're consulting a logic that has not done this. It doesn't know that some of these companies in network marketing, They are worth billions of dollars. They are publicly listed out there. But because you do not know this, you come here and you are thinking, oh my goodness, this one looks like one of those things. Pessimism. Have you seen pessimists? Pessimists. These are the people who look at a glass. It's either the glass is not always half empty, neither is it always half full. But the question is, when you look at a situation, do you see the bad side, or do you see the good side, or do you say, I see this becoming a better thing? So when you look at a situation, perception, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So most of the time, your perception, how do you perceive things? How do you perceive other people? And that is why it is said, never judge a book by its cover. And I've seen this. Like we call people, like some of you have referred me to so many other people, and I'm having a conversation with somebody. And number one, the first question they ask me, what is it about? And I'm imagining somebody told you it's about matters of finance, matters of a revolution, something that will change your life drastically. Can you discuss it over the phone? And all I'm asking, we might not even talk about the business, but let's have a meeting. We connect first so that you make your own judgment. You look at me, I look at you, and you ask yourself, is this the right person to share with me this information? So when we've seen people with the pessimism, so instead of somebody who is optimistic, the opposite of pessimism, optimistic, people who have hope. And I was in a place and I was listening to this preacher, and he brought these three things so nice. Talked about hope, he talked about faith, and he talked about love. And as you know, these three things, human nails, you keep cutting them, and guess what? They keep on growing. You keep cutting. Optimists, people who are optimistic, or even if they are minus faith, guess what? It doesn't matter how little it is, they will build something out of that. So the question is, when you look at a glass, is it half empty or is it half full? You have your own answer. The other item is complaining. Oh my goodness. People who complain, people who criticize, and people who condemn, they are with us. There's nothing you can do about it. But when I see those people in my business, I run. Because it's an infection that you cannot heal. You cannot be able to take care of. There are people who are hurting emotionally. And there's nothing, it's like a cancer kind of. It's like a viral kind of a disease that you are thinking you are going to help them, but you can't. And these people, it doesn't matter whether they know the person they are talking to. All they need to do is to have a contact with them. And I've seen some of those people, they come to Clereshua. Sometimes I don't know how to tell the new person, because they will come, they will befriend you. And I'm giving you some of the indicators. This is somebody you've met the first time. And instead of talking to you about the business, instead of telling you how the business is growing, they are talking to you about what is not working, all the negative things in their lives, who swindled them, who didn't do what for them. But the question is, they don't look at them in the mirror and ask themselves, when did I do these things to this other person? the things that I want, there is a principle out there. The first one is love your neighbor the way you love yourself. But there is another one, a platinum rule. Do unto others the way they want to be done unto them. Do unto others the way they want to be done, not the way you want to be done. That is the platinum rule. Now the golden rule says, do unto others the way you want it to be done unto you. Love your neighbor the way you love yourself. That is the golden rule. But the platinum rule now, do unto that person the way they want to be done unto. So bad, the people who complain, they always is me, myself, and I. Oh, the way JKK didn't do a presentation for me. Oh, the way JKK has the money and he cannot pay for me. Oh, the way this, that. I'm just using JKK because he's my co-host. So I don't want to mention anybody's name here other than JKK. So, and we've seen these people. So if you see some of these indicators, please run. Run. Don't entertain it because it will drain you emotionally. It's like a flu. When a flu comes, there's no medication. If your immunity is low, oh, that flu will put you down for a week. So, and if you're absent in your business for a week, I'm telling you to resuscitate your business. It's gonna cost you more energy, more resources than before. And if you cannot handle it, empathy also kills. There is good empathy, there is bad empathy. Good empathy, bad empathy. So this is not the subject about, we are not going to talk about good or bad empathy, but I'm telling you, stay away from people. You don't want them in your business. You better remain without. And the genius, the idea is to get the right people to prospect, not everybody. And that is why you need to qualify these people. You need to validate their reasons why they are joining the business. There are people who are joining the business because of you. There are people who are joining the business because they want the money. There are people who are joining the business because they are looking for somewhere to be going. So there are so many reasons that make people do what they are doing. So always validate their decisions to join the business. So I want to launch quickly into positive emotions that can change your life in a single day. And this happened to me when I was in London in 2013, when I saw a previous company that I was in, and all I needed is a testimony. And prior to that, we were going through a challenge. And when I saw this, I saw an answer to my prayers. And like we were saying, land helplessness, I didn't want to get stuck there. So I said, I will take the step of faith and I will jump in. And for 8 years, oh my goodness, it has an experience, the journey that has taken me 8 years is everything. I cannot choose a different route. Is everything. So one of those emotions is what I call disgust. And disgust, have you ever felt disgusted? Many times I do. And it's a negative emotion with a positive effect. Disgust is a negative emotion with a positive effect. And this is whereby you get to a point of enough is enough. Have you been there? Have you gotten to a point of enough is enough? And I keep telling people, you know, science will tell. And in this business, just know. And I keep telling people, don't keep following some other people. Let them go. People quit churches every day. Can you imagine? And we are talking about matters of God. People quit and they leave. And they say, they divorce God. And they say, no, I'm not following. What about a business? It's nothing. People quit marriages. People who are married 20, 25 years, 30 years, and they walk. Why do you think they walk? It's because they get to a point of enough. They become so disgusted. Now, if you are so disgusted with your life and you want a lasting change, it will not matter the challenges. You will say, I'll build this business. That is exactly what I did in 2013. I was so disgusted with people not picking my calls. I was so disgusted with previous associations. I was so disgusted with where I was. And I said, I'll change my life from this day. And I'm telling you, the minute I said that night, I earned $2,000. What changed? What changed is because I was fed up. I said, and all I needed is a trigger. All I needed is somebody's story. Somebody shared their story, and it was so powerful. My right bulb clicked. Guess what? I saw the light. How I wish that you can be so disgusted tonight that you will not need Simon or JKK or the leaders on this forum to build your business so that you change your life decision. And we said indecision is the thief of all opportunities, is the worst form of ailment that suffers men, or men and women suffer from indecision. So the opposite of indecision is decision. Make a decision, even if it is a long one. Guess what? You will learn from it, but don't stand still. You cannot travel within and stand still without. Keep doing something. They said, if you cannot run, crawl. If you cannot fly, land. So you are going to start from where? Do whatever that you're going to do, but don't be at standstill. Don't stand. Keep moving. Guess what? Something is happening. Something is happening within you. People are watching. And guess what? There is an evil that happens on the face of this earth. And this evil is in our homes, is in our companies, is in our churches, is everywhere. And the evil is the people who knows you, they don't support your business. It's a terrible evil because you are significant other, the person who is supposed to give you courage, the person who is supposed to give you confidence, the person who should be your cheerleader, the person who should be clapping, go, 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 you are doing it. They are the people who pull you down. It's a terrible evil. It's a terrible disease. But now that you know, make a decision and say with you or without you. But tell them with you or with you, I'm doing this. Let me tell you, and Thatcher is here. If I listened to her in 2013, I would not have joined that company. Because number one, we were in debt. And on top of that, I took a loan. I bought a box of coffee, $1,500. So we got into more debts. And she was like, coffee? What will we do with all these coffees, all these boxes of coffee? Where are we going? Let me tell you, it took her, I think, more than 6 months to even take a cup of that coffee. Why? Because I was disgusting to her. But guess what? I said what? I'll move on. I will build this thing all the way to the top. But the funny thing is, instead of with you or without you, I told her with you. So I kept on listening to my mentor. Even when I was at my lowest, when no money was coming, he kept telling me, Simon, continue doing what you're doing. I would tell him, Horton, This month they paid me $11. He told me, congratulations. I said, $11? Do you know $11? That is just 1,000 Kenyan shillings. Cannot buy anything. He told me, Simon, congratulations. Next month, you'll earn more. Keep doing it. And I have no energy to continue to the next month. But he told me, stick to that decision. Resolve. The concept and the idea of I will. When you promise yourself that you will never give up, resolve. That is what I did. I resolved never to give up. And I said, sometimes I share the stories. I remember when we went for our, I think, first cruise, either 2015 or 2016. It was an experience of a lifetime. And I said, after this cruise now, we boarded a ship called Oasis of the Seas. And we went to different continents and different states. And when we came back, I remember now, that time I think we were in Bahamas. And Thatcher was telling me, when we get back to Kenya, oh, I will sell this coffee like crazy. She's looking at me with bad eyes. But let me tell you, nothing. She didn't even sell a box. But did it deter me? No. I made a resolve. I will take this thing to the top. And I did. So I'm telling you, if you know what I know, that this thing called evil, we can overcome it. And it's people like you and me that we've been waiting for to fight this war. Sometimes when we talk about the strongholds, the principalities, people don't understand that. They think it's the devil they are fighting and they are sending him to some pitless holes, I don't know where. No, these are negative principles like we've shared here. And the principles, remember, everything has two sides. It has a positive side, and a negative side. So each side has its own principles. There are principles that governs the negative side. And these principles are what keep this earth in balance. So the question is, where are you leaning more? Because if you lean, whether you cast those principalities on the negative side, you cannot just cast them and send them into some hole. They will not go. It's like somebody trying to cast the law of gravity. And they say, oh, I will, good night. Somebody trying to cast the law of gravity and telling, I will scale a building and I will walk on air. You will fall and you will crash and you will break all your lips because you cannot defy the law of gravity. It's a principle. So there are principles that governs also the negativity. So, and the wisdom is to know that there's nothing you can do. You can only lean towards the side that you want. And that is why I was telling you guys, just post the things that you want to attract to you. Because let me tell you that go read by yourself. The book of Genesis, chapter 11. When these son of men, they decided that they are coming. They decided not to use the stones. They decided to use the bricks because they were easy to carry and they could burn them quickly. And they said, God, wherever you are up there, we are coming. And God said that let me go down and see what these people are doing. And I will go and confuse them so that they don't come. So confusion sometimes, it can be godly. Because now the challenge is to know also the enemy can use confusion. So that you focus on confusion instead of focusing on what you want. Anything that is challenging is magical. So if you can turn that confusion into a good thing, into what you want. You build a tower of Babel. And that tower can be in terms of tons of money, tons of health and wellness, tons of serenity, tons of all your dreams being accomplished. So guys, remember, anything that you do not use is a principle, you lose. Faith that you do not use, it diminishes. Energy that you do not use, you lose, you can't save it. Skills that you do not use, you lose. It's a principle. Has been here, will continue being here. When you leave, you will leave it. So these are principalities, these are strongholds. The question is, where are you held onto? Where are you grounded? On the principles and strongholds that are positive, or on principles and strongholds that are negative? Because anything that you focus on will grow. Anything that you focus on will grow. So remember, attention follows energy, or energy follows attention. So the question is, where is your energy tonight? Where is your attention? Because wherever your attention is, that is exactly where your energy will go. So when we are telling people, where are you? How come you are not on the Zoom? It's because their attention is not on the Zoom. So their energy is in some other place. It's not on the Zoom. So when we ask people, how come you are not calling people? Don't worry. The attention is not on building this business. The attention is on something else. So tonight, as we go to sleep, my desire is that we contemplate, we intentionally, we just decide, we make a conscious, deliberate decision that we are going to build this business, because there is no any other businesses that I've seen on this face of earth that can pay you 200%, 300%, 680%, 1,120% on any investment that you put in. That is why we are calling it the fourth revolution. So are you intentional? Are you deliberate? Are you awake consciously? Can you make that decision not to blame anybody, not to say, oh, if there's no if and there is no but. Just take ownership and build your business from where you are going down. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, pleasant night. JKK.
Thank you so much, Simon. I believe I'm loud and clear.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a wonderful, wonderful presentation. I think I will be looking forward to this Sunday episodes. They are just so mind-boggling, mind-blowing. I am so grateful that you spend most of your time, reading books and gathering all this information and knowledge that is so hidden in plain sight, the way we normally say, and you are pouring it out to all of us. So I don't want, I know if I do this, I'll do another presentation, but I just want to acknowledge what you are pouring into us as a team. I know right now we are 20 people strong on this particular call. I know even if one person finally believes what you have shared with us today, the world will be so much different. So thank you so much. We are really grateful for this this type of training, this type of mentorship that we are getting. Time to reflect on this particular presentation. We will make the recording available. So please, whenever we post it, listen to it again. Listen to it again. In fact, several times again. It is such of such profound whatever. Otherwise, I want to wish each one of us a great and a powerful week ahead. This is a new month. The month of August. I hope probably they will announce X Gold launch and so on. But I believe that we are going to have a great week this week. So thank you very much, everyone. God bless you. Have a great evening.